first, we're going to bring in our guest for today, and it's Vikings linebackers coach Adam Zimmer. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing. When's the last time you were at the ranch?
About a week before we came back.
Bobby knows his way around that place, I hear.
Oh, he's a regular.
Well, yeah, I stay in Adam's room when I go. So right now, we're 2 preseason games into this thing, and we've had a few weeks of camp. Are you mentally so far removed from life at the ranch that it's weird to talk about it right here? Or do you let yourself escape every now and then and think about the ranch or whatever?
Yeah, it's pretty much football all day now. So.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, when would you say a coach like yourself comes up for a breath of fresh air? Is it between the preseason and regular season at all? Because there's a few extra days there over Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, usually we just jump right into game plan for that first opponent to try and get a jump start on them. So it's really not, Friday afternoon after the game plan's done and all that. So.
Do you get into this third preseason game like everyone else does, or is it the same for you as all the other 3?
Ever since I've been, with my dad, it's been pretty much we treat it like a preseason game.
Yeah.
We haven't really spent any extra time on it. The guys might play a little bit more than they do, but it's not like we're going in there and we're game planning third down or game planning red zone.
Yeah.
It's we're calling what we have in, and we want to see who stands out.
Yeah. What do you think about your group? Got a pretty deep one this year.
Yeah, all of them I'm really impressed with. We've done a nice job mentally, and they all have some good qualities as football players that, what we're looking for now and the type of linebackers we're trying to bring in here. So I like the group a lot.
Barr and Kendricks, you're not going to I know you're not going to discredit them because they're your guys, but are they really smart, heady players?
Anthony Barr is probably the smartest player I've ever coached.
Okay.
Up there with Jonathan Vilma and those guys. So he asks questions that you don't even think players think about.
Okay.
So
he
is extremely smart. And, Kendricks is the same way. He's really intelligent. He thinks really fast, a good quality to have as a linebacker.
Okay, so the reason I asked that is because they are the face of your position group, basically, fair or not. I mean, they are. They're on the field every snap, pretty much. So when those 2 guys are that way, that helps you as a coach, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely, because you can talk to them about little details and see how they think it should be played or what their opinion is, and so it's huge. It's more of a conversation than more of me talking to them.
Sure.
It's talking with them.
And I would hope that it trickles down then to the other players, because it's like if you're a guy who wants to be an up-and-comer, if you're Cameron Smith or whatever, and your leaders in your room have that trait, I mean, that would inspire you to also become that way, I would think.
Yeah, and I think those younger guys are starting to become more vocal. Like Eric Wilson's asking way more questions than he has. And Cam this last week started to open up a little bit more. So I think having those guys in there encourages them to, hey, ask what needs to be asked and learn and try to be as good as those guys are.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about Barr and Kendricks, but I know there's a third spot there that you really like, and that's Ben Gedeon. Can you tell the fans a little bit about what he brings to that group?
Yeah, a lot of the things Ben does is unnoticed, but not amongst the defense.
Yeah.
Everybody knows how good a player Ben Gedeon is. He flies around to the ball. He covers running backs out of the backfield. He was covering Dalvin on a wheel route the other day, and it was incomplete. It's not going to ever be flashy, but it's going to be the right way to do it, 100% physical all the time. He had my favorite play of the year 2 years ago against Cleveland, where he played his A-gap, punched off the guard, and then made a play on the sideline, 20 yards away and for a no gain. So it's just he does everything right. He's not ever going to say much. He's a quiet guy, but he's invaluable to the
Do you show a play like that to some of your younger guys all the time?
I've showed it several times. It's in the cut-up. I said, this is a teach tape how to play this coverage, this run fit against this play.
Yeah.
And that one's going to be in there for a while.
Yeah, I like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We're going to give them our term of the week right now.
Oh, yeah, what is it?
We've been doing this segment called Term of the Week, and we have you guys explain, like Thielen talked about what a hot route was. So this one is double A-gap blitz. So we're going to have the linebacker coach talk about that.
Yeah, double A-gap is we align in 2-3 techniques with our defensive line, and we line both linebackers up in the A-gaps, which are between the center and the guard, and they give the illusion of blitzing or dropping, and you never know what they're going to do on every play based on the call and based on the situation. We could send one of them, we could send both, drop them both into coverage, run some sort of pick game. We've got all sorts of little caveats that we can mess with.
When teams start to mock that, because your dad's been doing this for years, how do you guys change it up so the opposing team doesn't know what you guys are going to do on that play?
Yeah, that's why we have to have so many different variables to what we do with it, and we study the protection of the offensive line and seeing how they're picking it up and trying to make adjustments based on that as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, you do see other teams do it. I mean, it's not a thing that only 2 or 3 teams do anymore, right?
Right, and that's why you have to be a little bit more creative, because teams are practicing blocking it more. So now they know how to pick things up, and so we need to have the next step for it. And it might not be that look; it might be starting in that look and going to another one. Mm-hmm. So, it's a lot of chess pieces moving back and forth with that stuff.
How often do you do the numbers game with the 53-man roster? Because
Bobby
honestly, I obsess over it.
was trying to get an answer out of you before we started recording. That's not on our recording.
I lay in bed at night and do it in my head. I'm like, okay, 26, 24. Because, basically you're going to have 3 specialists, right? I know everyone wants Corey Vedvik to, hold, punt, and kick off and do everything. But you're going to have 3 specialists, I would imagine. Long snapper, kicker, punter. So that leaves 50 players. And so you'd think it's a 25-25 split, but sometimes it's 26-24, one way or the other, offense and defense. So I machinate on this in my head every day.
He's not going to tell you how many linebackers.
I know that. I'm just trying to get him to stream his consciousness. I'm at 26 for the defense and 24 for the offense, in case anyone cares. But what are you at?
I go by who plays the best. And we're not going to have a set number. We're going to have who's the most valuable for special teams, who's the most valuable for backing up multiple positions, can do more. And I tell the young guys who start counting numbers every day, don't count the numbers and don't think you're competing with that linebacker. You're competing with the third wide receiver, the fourth tight end, the fifth defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Because those guys, you can only have 46 on game day. And the more you can do on special teams is a better chance you're going to be active on game day.
Yeah.
One thing a lot of people forget about Little Zimmer here is that he has a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
And it was not a good memory for Vikings fans. 2009, he was on the Saints.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I understand.
coaching staff.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry to bring that up.
Right. I was there.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done with that Super Bowl ring? You wear it out or do something crazy, show it off a little bit?
I used to wear it out a lot more than I do now, and my fingers are getting a little fat anyway, so it doesn't fit as good. But I would say maybe got a date one time.
There you go.
I was wearing it at a baseball game, and these girls were sitting next to us. So.
Okay.
Adam's my local baseball friend.
Yeah, he's a big Texas Rangers guy, right?
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we definitely hit a few baseball games every summer. Watch the Twins play. We're rooting for them, hopefully, to make a playoff run. So
you all must like Target Field. That's a good ballpark.
It's a great ballpark, yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite ballpark to go to, though? Baseball ballpark. I'm taking Minnesota out. I know you love Target Field. Okay, so that doesn't count.
He's rooting for the local Twins, so we're good there.
I know. All right, we're going to get to that in a minute, though. I got a question for both of you. But what's the coolest ballpark?
Coolest ballpark would be, I don't know, just the history of Fenway was cool. I did hit Old Yankee Stadium, and that was really cool the year it's last year. It's usually the historic ones. Wrigley, Dodger Stadium was cool. It was different, but it was cool. So, I like the older ones.
All right, what's your favorite one?
I love the older ones. Dodger Stadium, when I went there a couple of years ago, it feels like you're in like a valley. Like it's like you're in there's one road to get in. The traffic sucks.
Well, we call it Chavez Ravine, right?
Yeah,
that's what we call it. Yep.
But once you get in there, it's I don't know. It's just something else.
Yeah.
And you get the Dodger
top deck, and then go down if you have lower level seats.
Okay. All right. Cool.
You get the Dodger dog when you're there.
Yeah. Did.
All right. So your adopted teams are the Twins. For both of you. Sort of for you, Chris. Oh, this is tougher for Chris because his squad is in it to win it this year. Adam, yours is not. I'm sorry.
They just played the Rangers, and I was actually rooting for the Twins because the Rangers are out of it.
So you want to see the Twins get in?
Yeah.
Do you think they can?
I think they've got as good a lineup as anybody in baseball, so I think they're really good. I'd love for them to make it because that's the one sport I haven't been to a playoff game in. And if they play like a Friday night game, I'll probably try and
you could get there, right? We get out of here at like 1 or 2 o'clock and maybe make it down to the ballpark for a game, right?
That would be cool.
All right, cool. All right, anything else for Adam?
I think that's about it.
All
We
right,
covered baseball. Mark, we covered.
Right. Well, you watched the game film. What's up next? You got practice today.
Yep, back to practice, back to work, try to correct what we screwed up, and move on to Arizona.
Chase Kyler Murray around U.S. Bank Stadium on Saturday, huh?
Another mobile quarterback.
Yeah,
Just
that's
play
right.
'em all.
All right, man. Thanks for your time. We
All right,
appreciate it.
No problem.